Hi, I'm Alisha from Los Angeles, California. I have a doctorate in counseling and I'm a spiritual intuitive. For over 20 years, I have had the incredible privilege of facilitating thousands of folks in private practice and seminars to live into their divine purpose. I do this through a wide range of modalities from psychology, Gestalt therapy, in which we give a voice to disowned parts of ourselves to bring more congruence and wholeness. Spirituality, I connect you to the great archangelic beings, which are very, very high, pristine beings that can bring you into more expedited experience of God consciousness. So you really experience spirit in a very tangible, visceral way that you might not otherwise experience. I also clear past lives, clear the auric field, chakras, and most of all, really connect you into your own inner guidance so that you can truly live a more spirit-directed life. I also use pragmatic techniques from life coaching so that you can really see measurable behavioral change so that you have roots as well as wings. We are all fulfilled to the extent that we truly discover how spirit moves through us in a way that it doesn't through anyone else, and that we use everything that occurs to our spiritual advancement, learning, and growth. Almost every time I see a client, I see them move from constriction into bliss, peace, even gratitude for their challenges, once we can clear away what keeps them from seeing the spiritual opportunity of what's present. I really got to see the empirical evidence that this work works on myself. Just after dawn, my doctor called me and told me that I had aggressive cancer, necessitating the immediate removal of 5 organs to save my life. I clutched the comforter my mother had given me and just wailed. But then my lifelong faith just blanketed me, and I knew the cancer was there for me, and that I just needed to unpack this highly compelling message from my soul. So I told my oncologist I just needed a little time to cure the cancer. He looked at me like I was completely nuts, which we can't rule out, but God intervened and my world-famous Beverly Hills hospital lost my pathology slides. This bought me 6 weeks. I got busy courting a miracle. I radically changed my behavior, started practicing extreme self-care. It said that if you don't receive, you'll be put in a position where you'll have to receive. I put out the word, and sometimes 50 people at a time would show up at my house and pray over me. I went to an Oriental medical doctor who had been the Dalai Lama's doctor. He had been my client for 5 years. He laid me on a mat on the floor, and I remember looking up at him, and he said, "What would it take to fulfill your spiritual calling, to bridge the great archangelic and the human consciousness?" The room was just filled with great archangels, and my body went into uncontrollable kriyas. And while I would have gladly died to fulfill that purpose, I was being asked to do something far more difficult for me, which is to live for that purpose. The next 6 weeks were filled with all kinds of miracles. Final biopsy showed the cancer had reduced from 90% to microscopic in 7 weeks. No medical intervention. The soul just wants to learn. All we need to do is find out what that is and give ourselves into that. A beautiful woman came to me with advanced breast cancer, and we gestalted with the cancer cells to find out what the spiritual opportunity was. And they took us to when she was 14, and she was kicked out of boarding school and heavily drugged to stop her spiritual visions. I started working with her to open up her sight. We did a ceremony to shear off what was left of her naturally beautiful blonde waist-length hair. We were shocked to find that underneath it was a dark color of mahogany, that she had dyed it when she was 14. When we saw her there bald, we could truly see her for the first time because she was allowing herself to truly see. We're always called to fulfill our spiritual calling, and Spirit is always calling us. What are you being called to do more of to fulfill the purpose for which you were born? If it were a matter of life and death for you to fulfill your spiritual purpose, would you do it? What's stopping you from living it right now? Whatever that is, we're going to let it go. Just take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, just let it go. And just allow your body, mind, soul to be filled with light. What is one simple action you can take today to fulfill your spiritual calling? Take it. May all light infuse your beingness and your spiritual calling. And may the gold light of the soul connect us all. Thank you.